don't really know how to do this. I don't know how to do this video. I don't know how to do this video. And I'm actually gonna move the viewfinder away from me because I do not want to see the viewfinder in the background while I talk, because I kind of want to look at you all. I want to look at you. Hi, my name is Jasmine Pickens. On YouTube I go by mogulinthemakingj. In the making is the part that is stressed. And my channel is all about coming into myself, figuring out adulthood, being okay with not having the answers, and a lot of heavy reflection, so that as I'm putting in this hard work of just figuring life out, that I can become the best version of myself. And I guess the best version of myself, the phrase, the word that I think of is mogul. Because I do think, and I'm no longer feeling as though it's selfish to say, that I am a mogul in the making. I do see greatness for myself, and I'm not apologetic for it. And I don't think that anybody who feels that greatness of themselves, which you should feel, because everyone has something about them that is important for the world to have and to see, that I'm not hiding behind this fear or self-imposed condemnation of myself, which condemnation might be a very dramatic word for it, but I think that I repress and hide and do a lot of things that are not necessary or healthy for me. But that's a big part of why my channel is to talk to y'all, for y'all to see me and to live through the eyes of other folks. Today's topic, I wrote, do you see it? I wrote after having a conversation with my father. And I wanted to share it with you all and just talk through it with you, because it was a really big moment for me. It was a small moment, but a big moment. And so it just made me think about 11-year-old, 12-year-old Jasmine a little bit more. And to get some background to this conversation, my parents split up in 2009, and which led to my siblings and I abruptly moving back to California from North Carolina, and a lot of feelings that I never really had felt, or not felt, but a lot of feelings I had were kind of put away for the sake of being strong, for the sake of denying, or not even denying, but not allowing people to see how I felt, to a point where I started believing what I was projecting. And now 22-year-old me, 10 years later, is being affected by that, or is not able to do that projecting and not lying anymore, because I don't want to, because it's not doing anything for me. So I called my dad. My family's personal stuff is our personal stuff, and so I'm not getting into that point, but the context is there is that interesting and complex relationship that I have with my father that we are working on, but that is taking time. But I think this conversation that I had with him recently was the beginning part of actually beginning to work on some things. So I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna pause and break as thoughts emerge. But I just wanted to have this moment with y'all because I felt something in my chest release a little bit. Like it was literally kind of like a feeling of exhale. Yeah. All ready? Here we go. So, You ever cry after doing something that has shown you've grown? All the feelings I've denied myself from expressing, from a fear that they would take me and overwhelm my ability to be in control. You see, I feel more in control now, feeling myself and not fearing myself. For any of those Virgos, eldest child, people who have a lot on their shoulders can relate that this sense of at least needing to hold on to some false sense of control is a very important part to us because it makes us feel sound and ability to be an anchor to many people, but not to ourselves. Because we're too afraid to actually be with ourselves. And for me, it's hard. I've had a tightness in my chest for a minute now since Kobe, but I've been tight. This just pushed I've had tightness in my chest for a minute now since Kobe, but I've been tight for a while, chest feeling heavy. But this just pushed something I couldn't name to the front. It was named tonight. I keep having these moments where I pause and cry, and I don't know what dark sadness. It's not dark sadness, but because something is taking form. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to read my own writing. I'm trying to read it, and also it's speaking words to power. It's a lot because then you start hearing yourself. So this is my first time reading it out loud. So I'm sorry if it's broken. I spoke with my father today. Like, really spoke to him. I think the most honest conversation about my feelings and boundaries and a hurt from the past. And I think he heard something I said. I hope, Dad, if you're watching this. Some part of 12-year-old in me felt spoken for. Like I finally paid respects to her. I want to pause there really quickly. I think a lot for me is my resilience and holding everything in and being everything for everyone that I don't know if it's a doppelganger or just kind of who was that when I look back on it, or who did I think, like what life did I think that I was in when I was 12? Because I now cry for her. I'm experiencing all the things for myself that I was too afraid to vocalize because I needed to be in control. And all the hurt that 12-year-old me felt with everything that was happening, moving so abruptly, saying goodbye to a lot of things, the family dynamics. 12-year-old me was so confused but so clear, scarily clear, with just getting through the day and presenting stability. It was a lot. And so today I'm paying, I think that the phone call of my father, as I said, paid a small iota of respect to me. After the phone call, I cried. I felt something making room for something, maybe the beginning of a relationship with my father, but really a victory for myself. I spoke from my truth in a small way, but I'm finding that voice. I'm proud, I'm excited, and then I signatured my name. I'm nowhere near perfect, y'all. Nowhere near perfect. And this conversation is not a broad introspection into myself. This is specifically about this conversation and what it means to me, and just to be the child, thinking about my father and that relationship and all the things. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I do not trust men. I don't trust them. I don't trust a lot of people. Like, that's just general default. My default is I do not trust people, but for men, I have a higher threshold. And as cliche as it is, I don't like the phrase daddy issues, but like, I think that is in part true, right? That kind of broken attachment during that time, and the ways that I resolved it in my mind with my father has affected my desire to trust, in particular men, because something about me is that I am loyal, and I want those who I care about to be okay. And I will do as much as I can for them to be okay. I'm always thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So that when a person comes to me, and let's keep it a dudes, right? Like when a person comes to me and they like want to get to know me, the first thing in my brain is for what? For why? What have I done for you to want to spend time with me? Because I feel like I have to do something for someone to want to authentically get to know me. Like there's always something that I'm doing or that I have done or that I represent that somebody wants to attach themselves to, because at the very base of it, I do not think that like me alone is enough. And that's not healthy. It's not, but it's where I'm at. It's what I'm learning and growing from. And so I'm just like, what can I do? What can I do? Because I am not enough. And I think with how 12-year-old me, 11-year-old, I forgot how old I was. I think I was turning 12 that year. It was right after my birthday, actually. But how pre-adolescent me felt about my connection with my father was, what could I have done? Or whenever I'm called, it's how can I take care of as the child to my father? and never the child being taken care of emotionally, mentally. And so I always just feel like, what is it that I can do, not that I am enough? And so my boundaries of trust just completely kind of shut off, because I always think that a dude wants something. And I think that on some level that is correct. Like, prove me wrong, sits at the lemonade stand, waits. But I do know that there are some good ones. There are some good ones. There are some good ones. I think my brother's a good one. Whew. That just opens up an entire chest of feelings in terms of my siblings and those relationships that I'm working on post all this and the person who I'm becoming. But in terms of my trust, I'm really trying to say that I'm enough, and to put my filters on to see people who see me, men who see me. And this is not just like, this is not even just like romantic wise, right? Like, that category is dead for me at the moment. Like, but not because I don't believe in it. It's not what I'm actively focused on. But like, this trust is like, even platonically, like, I'm just like, what is your end game? What do you want? And I'm working on that, because I'm working on me. And I'm thinking about 12-year-old me. And I'm experiencing all the things that I denied myself 10 years ago. And it's a lot. And I thank my dad for having this conversation with me, because I just told him, you know, regardless of all of the stuff that you don't, you know, regardless of your ability to be, you know, the caretaker, the provider for the family, you're still my dad. You know, you're still my sibling's dad. And the relationship that you want to have with my siblings and I comes from persistence and commitment. And even though you are hurt by some things in the past and some family things that go on between him and my family, I'm the kid, you know. Like, I'm supposed to be taking care of and not taking care of you, and I just want you to hear me. It's a different level of taking care of now that I'm an adult, because I don't need you for the money. I don't need you. I mean, you know, I don't need you. I have younger siblings, so like, be there for them. But what I need is for you to be there and to listen and hear me. And I said that. I was like, Dad, listen to me. I can't, the first thing that you say to me can't be the burdens of the world that you deposit onto me. You know, the first things that you say to me can't be the burdens of the world and all the reasons why you can't be there. Sometimes a hello is so much. It's so much. And I want to work on our relationship. But you need to listen and hear and work and show your care outside of what you perceive as a lack of being a father because you can't provide. I said support comes in a whole bunch of different forms. And from you, I need the spiritual, the mental support, the actively participant in my life and showing interest. Like, Dad, I want you to care. And I know that you care, but you're so afraid of how you are perceived by us because of, you know, stuff. But I told him, and I'm telling him now, that it's about you just being there and listening and hearing the person that I am now, not as 12, because we very strung out communication streams. But that me as a 22-year-old, and the process that I'm going on, I told him this, I am growing. I am looking back at 12 me. I am doing all this to say that I am at a place to have that conversation and to not talk to you from the place that I was at 12. I'm a grown-up now. You know, like I'm an adult, but no, I am a grown-up now. And I have boundaries. But in my boundaries, I am refusing to not talk to you and say the things that I want to say so that you can hear me. Because no relationship, no boundaries between two people can ever be a thing if no one is listening and hearing you. And I've been trying to think of the distinction between listening and hearing. Because I think that people have, like, you know, different, like, they view the other, like, they view, like, the same thing that I'm about to say, they view it the other way in terms of the words, but it's all semantic. For me, listening and hearing, I would say that hearing is like listening is like the audible detection of words. Like, you are listening to me, but I think there's a difference between words coming at you via listening and you hearing me, right? Are you taking what I'm saying seriously? Are you reflecting upon those words? Are they affecting you? Are you seeing me through what I am saying? Are you asking questions? Are you trying to engage? That is hearing for me. And I think that my dad did hear me unapologetically beginning the boundaries of what a communication stream between he and I looks like. And that was wild to me because I have not done that before. And a part of my chest, when I say, like, I felt I could exhale, it was like just, I had this bubble in my chest and a part of it deflated, and just like I felt emotion come out of my eyes, emotion leave my body, where it wasn't tears, but the only thing that I know right now is cry. You know, like, I used to never cry. Now I'm just like, all right, the sun rose up, I'm gonna cry. But like, it just like, I felt these convulsions just like of exiting feeling, and I just like cry, like stop. It was like just the feeling of something forming and something new coming up. Is where I'm at, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the future and my growth, because I think for nothing else, this is about me, but it's also about what these relationships can mean. And nothing is beautiful, nothing is easy, everything is complex. And I know that this is a very relatable topic for a lot of people. You know, the relationships with parents, in particular the relationship with father and daughter. And I'm here for y'all. Like, my heart goes out for all of you who are trying to have that conversation, who are working on their trust and their boundaries, and are seeing how the younger versions of them, they denied, or that they're trying to pay respects to now. My heart goes out, and I hope that your process, because it is a process, is evolving, is taking shape, or even just is initiating. Because I think for me, I just became so full, like literally denying it, but all these things bubbling to a point where like I had no other choice but to like regurgitate my words out, because we all got a limit. We all have a limit, and I reached my capacity. And so my heart goes out to everyone who can relate. And Y'all, 2020 is about, we said new decade, and I'm not bringing in certain things to this decade. I'm bringing in old me into some new things to change and reshape, you know. And so thank you so much for watching my video. Dad, we have a lot of work to do, but I am open to doing it. It is going to be messy. It is going to be something, but listen to me and hear me. Listen to me and hear me. But yes, y'all, comment, like, subscribe. This journey is a wild one, but it's one that I'm excited for. And I will see y'all next time. Thank you.